What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into On Air with your one and only rock star, Mike David Duane, in the place to be. All that dope stuff that I call myself the throwback millennial, jack of all trades, narrator, curator. What's good, y'all? What's up? We back for an episode of What the Okay. Some weeks I'm able to do that little jingle. Sometimes I'm not. Listen, Tuesday, July 13th. OMG. We are here. We are here. We are here. First of all, it's so good to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have been really showing a lot of love to my IG Live series. Even though this is our last week, tomorrow's our last day of IG Live. We're going live with Leela James at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 Pacific Times, and then we might have a special guest later in the evening. Late. I can't tell y'all who, but I'm going to tell you this. If you guys saw the interview with Felicia and Fallon of Cherish on Monday, you guys have a good idea who's going to pop up live. Okay? So I'm looking forward to the IG Lives and everything with the surprises. But tonight, I'm looking forward to our interviews with Koryn Hawthorne, Final Draft, and June 3rd. Listen, these are my people. Y'all should know Koryn. She's got that brand new album out, I Am. June 3rd's got this brand new project. He's getting ready to drop his EP. He getting ready to drop. He dropping the EP? He dropping at the end of this month. Something, a new, I think the project's coming. I think so. And then Final Draft, who's got the new Kings of R&B project out. You guys gotta wait and stay tuned for tonight's show. Listen, I don't know if we doing entertainment news or Dear Duane, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because we got so much good interviews and stuff like that. So I don't want y'all to be like, oh my gosh, David is just throwing so much at us. He's just so much. But we're gonna get into a little bit of stuff. So have no fear. Dear Duane is here. Okay? Oh, you see that there? You see that there? But listen, guys, I'm so glad that we're getting into another month. You know, July was cool. These last couple months have been hella busy for me, so y'all been showing a lot of love, like serious love. I've been feeling great, looking great. Y'all see the new hairstyle? You know, I constantly forget that this damn thing is here, and I'm just like, oh, I do have some hair on my head. Like, I really have some hair on my head. I mean, clearly it's not mine, but it's mine still. Y'all know I just don't care. It's like that, but I'm just really grateful to doing another week, a show with you guys. Oh my goodness, I be missing y'all through the week and the weekend. I be like, where my friends at? I need people tuned in, and y'all was definitely tuned in last week for sure with the Ralph and RL interview. So shout outs to their fans who tuned in. Shout outs to them. It was great dialogue. Y'all really do tune in and like little me. You guys really do. Okay. So what we're going to do is right now we're going to get into our interview with June 3rd. And then we're going to get into our interview with Final Draft. We're going to get our interview with Koryn. And we're going to get into some entertainment news. Maybe. And we're going to get into Dear Duane. So make sure you guys keep it locked right here on Air with David Duane. Let's get the show going now. Woo woo!
Yo, what up? It's your boy June 3rd, and I'm checking in with David Duane.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into On Air with your one and only rock star on the mic, David Duane, in the place to be right here, right now. We've got my boy, June 3rd. Now, listen, if you guys don't know who this amazing R&B hip-hop artist is, I don't know where you guys been, but June has literally got the internet buzzing. He's been having the internet buzzing since 2015 with his record, Thirsty, which just so many amazing numbers between SoundCloud, Spotify, and June's with us. What's going on, June 3rd? How you doing?
Going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Listen, I'm good. Glad to do this interview with you because I've come across your name a few times circulating the internet, and I was like, yo, this dude is talented. I've got to get an interview with him like 911. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Man, thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the story behind like your stage name, because your birthday is June 3rd, right?
No, my birthday is January 18th.
How did we get to June 3rd?
Yeah, no.
For those who don't know. I know,
right.
but for those who don't know.
Right. So it really just started with me just trying to figure out, like, just, rocking with a name that actually meant something to me, other than just thinking of something random. So my grandfather, he was like the first person in my family who passed away, like, that I could remember. So his nickname was June as well. So I was just like, how can I make that creative without just being June? And because my family knows only one June. So I just put a twist on it to be June of the third generation of my family. So yeah, it was just a cool little play on words. just to try to make it more creative.
No, and it makes a lot of sense for you to do that and like pay that homage to your grandfather and be doing third versus the second, because second would be your dad, and but
Right.
third would be you. So I think that that's amazing that you pay homage to him. Was he into music at all?
Not that I didn't know him to be a musical man at all, but I mean, I also caught him during the later years of his life, so I couldn't tell you. I really don't know anything about how musically involved he was, but I know my family. Like, I learned a lot from my dad, so I'm assuming he learned a lot from him. So.
Right. So tell me about growing up in Florida and then just discovering your love for music and stuff like that. I know your dad listened to a lot of old school 90s, 80s R&B hip hop music while you were growing up.
Yeah. It's crazy because I kind of had to I had to put myself in that zone and in that area, because it wasn't like I grew up like my parents. They worked a lot, you know what I'm saying? They both worked during the day, so it's like most of the time I was with my grandma, or if I was home, it was me just figuring out the music by myself. Like, I would go through the CDs, I would listen to them, I would watch the MTVs, the 106 in Park, and then that's what kind of like influenced me to actually want to do it. I just thought it was like super cool, and I wanted to see if I could do it. And then, eventually I got in the studio. But it wasn't more of like him sitting down with me or anybody in my family sitting down and like, yo, listen to this. It was me just like going out and just finding it myself.
So what age were you just discovering your voice, or did you take vocal classes to like develop that voice? Because I mean, you've got a great melodic sound, and whether it's you rapping or you've got the singing going on, like you fuse them both really well with your music.
Right. When I first started just making music in general, I was probably like 13, like when I recorded my first song. And then from there, I didn't really start singing and start being melodic till like 2015 when I moved out to LA, because I was just around so much of it. I was around a lot of R&B singers that just influenced me, and I fell in love with that. But yeah, when I came out here, I started watching Eric Bellinger. Like, I was really just behind the scenes watching a lot of his melodies and just learning from him. Then from there, we got our own studio, and I just started practicing and just figuring out my sound. I had vocal lessons maybe like 3 times, but it was never consistent. So I can't even say that that's what developed it. I kind of just figured it out on my own. Yeah.
And it's a good thing that you mentioned Eric, because he's a friend of the show. So shout outs to Eric. And he's actually also a good person to like study as well. Being one that, he started wanting to play sports like that. I'm sure he's told you the stories and stuff like that. With him actually being able to develop his sound and perfect that and become a writer as well too. And that's something that you love to do very much. And your writing is crazy. When I heard Wait For It, I was like, what?
Yeah.
The energy was just so dead on. Like, if I could say something like that in the record, I would, but people would be so thrown off guard. But I think the delivery is so important with songwriting and just structure. So for you, how long did it take for you to actually to really get the craft down of songwriting? Would you say that it took you a minute, or do you feel like, once you started to like get into it, it was something that you were able to really have a hold on?
Yeah. I mean, the formula I always knew because I was just a student of the game. But then as music started developing, the formula just became different. And then it came to a point where like, there doesn't necessarily have to be a formula in songwriting. It's just like whatever is your bag. Like as I just started working on the project, and even a little before that, like as I started singing, I was like, my bag is an intro, verse, hook, breakdown, outro. Like, so like, and that just was my thing. And then from there I started working on delivery, and then delivery is like the most important thing to me in terms of that process. So once I figured out the format and then how I want to sound, now it became, okay, how can I play with my voice a little more and make the delivery more appealing to the ear?
Right. I think that's the really most important thing about, being an artist, is making sure that it's appealing to the ear, not just for like the listener, but for yourself, so that listener can be able to really catch, the narratives that you have in each record that you've released on this upcoming project as well. It's so important for them to be able to understand it for what it is, and not try to have, well, not even try to have, but them having a difficulty understanding that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I try to make everything like as straightforward as possible and as me as possible. Like, as you can see, like even in like Wait For It, like I wanted it to come in like that. I wanted it to be like, oh shit, like wow, he really just said that. That's the kind of person he is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can't write music that somebody else wrote for me. Like, I've tried to do that before, just as a singer. And I was like, I just can't because that's not me. So I try to keep it, as me as possible on these records.
Yeah, and how long would you say like it takes for you to like write a song?
It depends. Like that one, to write it, it probably took like an hour and a half, maybe two. But the process is just so much longer because so much goes into like the R&B, like figuring out the harmonies and like which ad-libs will go perfect with this and like stacking things throughout the verses. So it takes a while, like maybe 4 to 6 hours to complete it, but to write it, I've written songs in less than an hour before. Like it just depends on the vibe in the studio and how on we all are, and like, it's you can never really tell. I did a song last week that took like 30 minutes to write, so it's different every time.
And I feel like once you feel the vibe of what that is, and it's the lyrics are speaking to you and stuff like that, or if it's not coming to you, that's what determines the length of time, how much it's going to take, and how long the song actually is going to be outside of maybe even that production factor. Because let's say you don't even have production to it and you're writing it a cappella. You got to then produce the track around what you already got.
Something that I realized I could never do, like just have like the acapella, especially as I started singing and being melodic. I like to really go in there and just like listen to the beats or go through the selection of beats, or even if we cooking up from scratch, I like doing that. And I like to not think about anything, no concept, no nothing. I just want to know if I like the beat and how the music sounds. And then when I go in the booth, I just, whatever comes to my mind, I might say something in the record that might end up being the concept. But I don't like to flood my mind with ideas because then you get stuck on something before you have anything. So yeah, that's my process for the most part.
And that's a great process to have. And speaking of selecting the beats with this upcoming project, tell them the name of the upcoming project if we can, and just kind of like the concept overall behind it. Because I know with this project, like just even from the beat selection to the records that you have out already, you're not boxing yourself in. Like you're literally just going with what you feel. And I think that's the most important key about music in today's time. Just go with what you feel and say what's on your mind.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it worked. The name of the album is called Gemini. It's spelled obviously like a different than Gemini, the actual
G.
word. Yeah, Gemini with a G. But I think this album is just like an emotional roller coaster of somebody trying to figure out where they fit in terms of like being in relationships, who they are as a person in life. Like, because not every song is about a girl. So it's just like a roller coaster of just really just me. So I'm speaking about myself, but I feel like I keep it broad enough to where people can relate to it and be like, okay, that's me, or I identify with that song. So yeah, I think it's a very relatable project, and it shares emotions from people who seem like they don't really have emotions with the way that I deliver it and the way that I word things.
Wow, I first of all, I'm like lost for words. I was going to say something, but I'm lost for words. Like just how you put this whole project into perspective and stuff like that, and just the reference of, not directly, but basically the reference of self-discovery. Sure. Being that you are 24 and stuff like that, how much of your life is really into this music and stuff like that? Is the importance of living to experience and then putting out there like a really super key for you thing?
Yeah, it's a key. Like I will be writing, we'll be in the process, and like the producers, I mean, they're just producers. They also help write, but they'll just be like, man, what if you say this? And I'm like, like I can't say that because that's not me. That never happened. That's not my real life. So yeah, every single thing and every single topic that I talk about is 100% real. Like there's no exaggeration on anything. Like, I mean, we might name drop something that, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't have on me or something like that just because it goes with the rhyme scheme, or like, you know what I'm saying? But even then, it's like, it's not like it's not attainable. Like I could have that, or I could, you know what I mean? So everything is 100% authentic. I don't know how to be fake in my music. I feel like that's a representation of me. So if I'm just fake, then I'm just a fake artist. So.
Right. You're definitely not a fake artist, fake person. We're getting real authentic energy from you, not even just in this conversation with your music as well. And then your choice of fashion too. Like I know that fashion is such like a big thing for you. Nice fit, by the way. And then like just looking on, you're welcome. And then like just looking at your social media and just seeing like the different choice of like outfit selection and then like the aesthetic socially wise. So you've got a really great concept of branding. How important was it for you to even kind of keep like the significance of the letter J throughout your brain? Because you know, your first, we ain't gonna put your actual name on blast to the people,
Right.
but it starts with a J, June being your grandfather's nickname, and then you going by June 3rd, and then the Project Gemini is it's the consistency within the J.
Right. Yeah, I don't even, what's crazy is I'm not even sure if I necessarily did that on purpose, but it just felt right. Like when I was thinking the names, like it's weird because even before I came up with the June and then to be June 3rd, like I think all my names just naturally had a J in it. Like I guess I just feel like I'm a J person. Like I don't know, because I mean obviously my government starts with a J as well, so. I don't know. I just feel like that's me. Like I said, like if I would have went with anything else, it wouldn't have felt right because I can't do things that are not me. Like I can't force it. So yeah, it kind of just came natural, and I think it was the best fit because you know we're keeping it in the family. Even with the brand, like somehow I just like Gemini. Everybody thinks I'm a Gemini. Everybody thinks I was born in June. I'm not. Let's put a flip on that and give it meaning. And then,
But your sign is actually a Cancer, right?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, you're a Capricorn. Oh, you're in January. I don't know why I thought you said July for a moment. Okay, you're in the safe zodiac bracket. Anything that goes towards that summer, that's where people get a little bit too crazy. Anything from a Gemini on, I'm like, bad business. But it's really good that people are paying attention to your brand and got that confusion because you don't want to confuse your fans, but for them to like interpret certain things, it's not a bad thing because then it kind of keeps them tuned in and, you know, keeps them following as well.
Yeah, like I get asked why June 3rd every day, or like I get DMs every day like, oh, we have the same birthday, and I kind of just let them sit there because I'm like, they'll find out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I've said it in a lot of interviews, but if they're paying attention, they'll find out. So I don't really like explain myself about that much anymore unless I'm doing like an interview like this or something like that. But this is for them to watch. So it's like, I'm not going to answer that to you personally, but you can go figure it out if you're really a fan and you're really paying attention. So.
Yeah, and as you develop more fans and they tap into like your, you know, your personality and start to, you know, check out interviews, they'll catch on to, you know, little things like that. And I think it's good that your fans have the ones that have been loyal with you since, you know, Thirsty, Fractioned with Nobody, who's a good friend to the show as well. So I love that record and what you guys did with that. Just if we can't talk about that, just like the chemistry and the vibe of that. Did you guys record that together? Or was that something that was done separately?
Nah, it's crazy because, well, for one, it was done separately, but two, it was a song that like originally I didn't even like. Like I wasn't gonna finish it. I wasn't gonna do anything. Like it was just there, like just in the vault. And then my manager Edgar, he came in town, and we were just going through records with the producers I was with at the time, and I was like, "What do you think about this one?" Because they keep thinking everybody thought it was hard, and I was like, "What do you think about it?" And he was like, "Bro, you got to finish that like right now." I was like, "All right, let's do it." And then, you know, as I continued, I started liking it more and more and stuff like that. But and then Nobody, like he's my friend too. He was in LA for a long period of time at the time. So just through mutual people, I was like, that's somebody that I need a song with because this is my friend, and we hadn't worked together. So I just shot it out to him. He knocked it out quick. I think he sent it back like the next day and just put it out.
Yeah. And it's good that you got to collaborate with your friend and stuff like that, because when you have friends that you don't ever get a chance to collaborate, it's like, how much really are we friends if we've never linked up and done anything? Like, I always kind of find that weird for people. They were like, yeah, we friends and we do this, like, but you guys have never, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of friend is that? But you guys sound great on the record. And just like, I want to go back to talking about fashion, but since we kind of dived in talking about relationships, how important was it for you once you moved from Florida to LA just to like really start networking and developing relationships outside of like studio and just like working with him and, you know, stuff like that?
Right now, it was literally everything. Like, it's coming from Florida, to be honest, especially the person I was before I moved out to LA. I was somebody who, like, if I don't really know you, then there's really nothing to talk about. Like, not that I have a problem with you or nothing like that. That's just how I was moving where I was from. And then when I came out here, it's just like everybody's talking to everybody. I'm seeing people get opportunities and, you know, winning with people that they literally just met at a party or something like that. And there's just always important people around when you go to these events and when you go to these places. So just to even be a friend with some of these people, you know, it's important to just put your name out there and put that bug in their ear, even if it's just a follow on Instagram. Like, it's just important to widen, you know what I'm saying, your brand and getting more people familiar with who you are. So that helped me a lot. Like, I wasn't a talkative person at all, but being here definitely taught me that it's important, because we've built lifelong relationships off of just seeing somebody at a party or at an event that's been beneficial. Like Eric, my manager, met him at an event through our mutual friend. So it's like, we don't meet Eric, I'm probably never moving to LA. So it's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like little things like that that show me why it's so important.
Yeah, that's very important, because without relationships, you can't make moves in this business. You're going to be stuck in one little spot. I mean, that's just the nature of life. You've got to have relationships and, you know, contact with people to do certain things. But getting back to the fashion, like I was saying, fashion is like a big thing for you. And you can go from many different sides. You can go from like a casual side to a business casual to a very casual to like just a real laid back, relaxed. Who are some of, like, if it's not anybody that inspires your style, like who are your favorite designers that you like to wear?
What's crazy is it's like me and one of my best friends from my hometown, like me and him, we just always been like up to date with the fashion stuff. And like, I even learned a lot from him. And, I was on that scene like a little earlier than him, but he's like so much more invested in it now than I am. So, I learned a lot of stuff from him, but I mean, it's really not much designer that like I care for. It's more just like, how can I put pieces together that a lot of people aren't really thinking about how to put it together. Like, bro, I'll go shop at Zara, or like I'll get a shirt I'll be at Ross or Marshalls or something and see like a super dope graphic tee and I'll copy it. Like, it just depends. Like, if I'm really trying to flex, like you can't go wrong with Gucci Louis. I like some of MCM stuff. Yeah, bro, like I literally rock everything. I like Gap, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll go to Old Navy and find something that's fire. So it just really just depends. Like, I'm a Fashion Nova partner now. So like a lot of the jeans and stuff that I get from them, like I just put it together with other stuff. Like what would work. So yeah, I'm not big and heavy on designer. Sometimes I feel like it's necessary with certain things like the accessories and the belts and stuff. But if you just fly, you just fly. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be the most expensive thing, you know?
Right, because it's literally all about like how you piece the outfit together. Because like you said, because I do the same thing. It might be Fashion on the bottom. Shout out to Fashion Nova Men, because I'm sure somehow now that they'll see this. It might be Fashion Nova Men on the bottom, then it might be Zara on the top, and then the jacket might be H&M, and then the accessories might be, I don't know, somebody with a lot of zeros to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's all about how you rock the outfit as well too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's all it's about, literally.
Are you working on a fashion brand? Is that what I heard through the grapevine?
I'm working on something. One of my best friends, he's also a designer. Like, he literally builds, like, if you watch the 1942 video and some of the pieces that I wore for the Wait For It, like, he's literally made them. So the whole first fit in the 1942 video was made by him. Shout out to Yampa Studios. But yeah, so me and him are kind of like, he's helping me like just picture out different looks. And like, I think around the time of the album, I'll probably drop like the first season of, you know, whatever the clothing line is going to be. It's called Gemini, obviously, but yeah, we're still figuring out looks right now and just bouncing out ideas. So.
Wow, that's going to be dope. And I think that fans are going to be able to appreciate the fact of being able to really fully invest in you as an artist, and not only as an artist, but now venturing as an entrepreneur. when you start to do other things that's outside of music, you just open up a whole nother umbrella. So was that something that you knew that you wanted to do, like just kind of expand outside of the music once you fully got into it, or was that just something that kind of came as a natural feeling?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Like it definitely came as a natural feeling. Like I knew that's something that I wanted to do. Just in general, probably even if I didn't make music, I was probably something I would want to do. But yeah, I just think getting people to be invested in you as a brand and then beyond the music helps with every aspect of what you do. So that's just like the beginning step for me. Like I'm sure I'm gonna venture off into different things too with the name and then the brand Gemini. But that's like the first thing that I wanted to do because I just want to be able to just wear my own stuff first and foremost, and just like my people around me just wear my stuff. So yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah, that's dope. So now with these visuals, I want to talk about that as well too, because one thing for sure, you don't miss a beat with, actually having some great quality visuals. Like it's just your brand is well packaged. So I definitely gotta shout you out for that, because a lot of independent artists or even artists that are signed to a label should, if they not doing something right, they can go to your socials and be like, look, I'm not going to copy what he's doing, but I can at least take this as a really good example to really how to make things aesthetically align, because that's the biggest thing. A lot of talent don't know how to make that happen for themselves, and it can be very distasteful because the music can be great, but you're looking at everything and it's like, that don't look too great for me. Not for it to appease anybody, but it just should always flow together.
Yeah, no, that's the most important thing, especially if you're. It doesn't even matter if you're independent or not. Actually, it's just more of like, how are you going to make people believe that you are what you think you are? Like, if you visually don't present yourself as a star or whatever it is that you want to be, then how? If you're not making them believe it when they're actually looking at you, then it's just not going to happen. Because the music could be great, like you could sonically sound good, but when they see you, that's more than anything what matters. Because there has to be a face to what you do. At least a big brand. Like even if you were mysterious, like how are you gonna make that visually pleasing to make people want to be invested in you? You know?
Right. No, that's true. And let's go back to even talking about developing your fan base and stuff like that. How important was that for you to just like make sure that you had your music on SoundCloud, you were on Instagram, you were on Twitter, they just kind of make sure that you were accessible for people to discover your new music, because now you're on all these different playlists. The streams are ridiculous every time you drop, and I think that's incredible because not a lot of people can say, hey, I don't have a full body of work and my streams reflect on my singles.
All right. Yeah. Man, I think developing a fan base is the hardest thing to do. Like it just in general, because I know people who are signed to majors, have gotten big solid deals, and like their following is just like it's almost as if it was a bust because like they're not doing really any numbers. The label's not really invested in them anymore. They could possibly get dropped. So I think studying people who do have fans and like seeing what it is that they're invested into and then using that to build your own is what's important. Because I mean nobody's just a fan of one person. So you have to figure out why they're a fan of that person and then make them a fan of you. That's kind of like the approach that I took in it. Just people that are in a similar genre as me or like are interested in the same things as me, and kind of just introduce myself to them, whether it's just a short interaction where I'm just talking to somebody, DMing them, or like, what I'm saying, whatever the case is, like, or I'm seeing what city is listening to my music the most, and I'm like, okay, let me see who's in Chicago. Let me, what I'm saying, let me get them more familiar with it. Let me reach out to more people. So it's not easy, but it's promo is that works as well too. If somebody's popular, what I'm saying, shoot them a quick little bag, get that promo. Now people who are fans of her, fans of you, or fans of him, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.
That's a good artist to even say, like her, even if you just say like Tone Stiff, Nobody. There's so many different artists that like literally fit in that same bracket. When you think about old school R&B, who would you say like are those top 3 artists that are like your go-to favorites, whether it be from like the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, early 2000s? Who would you say those artists would be?
I'm gonna go with Keith Sweat. The person I want to say is canceled, so I'm gonna just leave that one out of it. But
Can I say their name?
go ahead. I think everybody knows. If we're just talking musically, I think everybody
R.
knows.
Kelly.
Yeah, yeah.
They
That would be my
they can't take away his stripes from him as much as they want to. That man is a genius in every single way possible. Besides the crazy stuff, whether it's true, false, half true, half false, what he did like songwriting wise was whoa. Like that's like untouchable.
Yeah, I learned a lot from him musically. So I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? If the things that are said are true, or like just whatever he's going through right now, it's unfortunate. But musically, yeah, I think he changed the R&B game as a whole, to be completely honest. Just with how many different ways he could tap into that one genre, like whether it was on some player stuff, whether it was like super soft and like inspirational, or like he's just incredible to me as a musician. So yeah.
He's definitely incredible. So when is this new project coming out? Because you know that's what people are really itching. I know that you've said soon, but how soon is soon? Because you just dropped the Wait For It video. Are you planning to drop like another song, or probably going to drop the project next?
I'm thinking of dropping probably one more song, okay. And then the next song and visual that we do drop will probably release with the album same day that it comes out. So
nice.
We're looking maybe like 2 months, I would say, because I mean, Wait For It is just heating up still. So we're trying to give that as much time as possible to reach, you know, the heights that it could possibly reach. And then and we'll start putting out some more stuff. And then the album is definitely coming out before the end of this year. Like it's like 90% done right now. So it'll be out for sure before 2021.
Listen, I think everybody's excited for it. If they didn't know about you now they do from this interview. And I think that, you know, just hearing how excited you are about your art, how dedicated you are, I think that is the most important thing, and really a really great takeaway from our conversation. Like, you're dedicated, and a lot of artists should be truly dedicated if they're going to do it. The start of quarantine was a little bit difficulty with, you know, having surgery and stuff like that, but you got right back to it. You said, look, I have this time off now, I can, you know, start to get my walking up together. I get right back to work. Let me get into these sessions, and like let me be productive and get, you know, what's done that needs to be done.
Right. Yeah, that was a tough time, but I mean, as soon as I got back, I never stopped. Like, I was just locked in. Like, was tired of waiting. I'm like, we have to get this debut project done. Like, it's been years of trying to get it done, failing, starting over again. So I was like, man, this is it. Like, you know, I'm not getting no younger. Like, let's do it now. So that definitely
right. Even though 24 is young.
Yeah, it's young. I wanna be in here as many years as I can. You know what I'm saying? The longevity of an artist depends on what you do, you know, from somewhat of a young age. So, you know, I think I'm at that age right now where I could, you know, like aim for the 10 years and the 15 years just by doing it now. You know what I'm saying? You start getting older, and it's like your time limit as an artist starts shrinking. So, you know, I'm just trying to do it now.
So they say in our community, but that's not how it is in, you know, in the pop world and the rock world. They'll go for years. I just feel like that when it comes to the urban community, so like that, or if I'm gonna just say, if you're doing R&B or hip hop, rap, whatever it is, right? You should be able to do this as long as you want to. Like, that's like I like to preach the model, like, you can do anything by all means necessary. So anybody who's watching, feel like you can do it. if June 3rd didn't give you the inspiration to do it, I don't know what the hell y'all been not getting inspired about, but you are like literally a walking testament of like it could actually happen. Just seeing from like your streaming numbers from 2015 to now this point, and it's only been 5 years seriously since you've had like music full-fledged out. Like, that's dope. You got a long way to go in this business. Not saying like you in a bad sense, but like you got some longevity on you is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no, it's important too to, you know, just continue to adapt to the new sounds and to look apart to the new styles as well. So it's like that's something I also been paying attention to. Like that can easily make an artist who's supposed to last 10 years only last 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like those are the little things that I'm paying attention to, and we'll see, man. Like I plan to have longevity in it, but you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm also doing other things that you know, will benefit me moving forward just forever. So
We're all quarantining and stuff like that right now due to COVID. But once all of this is over, what are 2 to 3 songs that you're looking forward to performing off this brand new project?
I would say wait for it for sure. I have a song called Soldier. That'll probably be something y'all hear when it comes out on the album, but I just did that a few weeks ago and it's crazy. And I have this song, it's a little slower, it's called My Wave, but it's more like an anthem feel. So like I would like to see like at a festival or something like how the crowd would receive that.
So it's got that whole big, like even like an arena type of sound where it would kind of get people like moving. So it's got maybe even an international kind of level.
Yeah, it's
when
definitely
you think about like
definitely
festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It's not like a club banger. It's not like 1942. Wait for it. It's like something that you're supposed to perform for a big audience, and the hook is simple. So like within the second or third time of hearing it, they'll try to figure it out and try to sing back to it. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm loving the fact that like with this project, you're not boxing yourself and you're literally giving everything. And I'm looking forward to this EP within the next 2 months. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely 2 months.
Nice. And I gotta ask you, and I ask all my guests this question before we sign off. What are 2 to 3 things which you say exemplify you as a man and as a artist and entrepreneur?
Honesty, vulnerability, and flashiness.
Okay.
I would say that because the first 2 is just me as a person. The third one is me as a person too, but if I'm just talking about me as a man, that's something that I do. Like that's just natural for me, like things that I enjoy. So I enjoy being flashy, you know, inspiring other people, but it just feels good to me as well. So
Yeah, and it's always got to feel good. So you mentioned vulnerability. That's a real feeling. As men, we get the bad rep for feeling vulnerable. Do you feel like it's exceptionally okay for men to feel vulnerable at times, or maybe even all the time?
yeah, I think it's cool to be vulnerable when you need to be. Like it doesn't have to be all the time. But also like what I was saying too, like when you were asking me about the album, and like it is emotional for me, but it's the way that I word it. It fits me more as a person because I'm not a super soft person. So I'm making it known that like, bro, it's okay to feel this way and it's okay to talk about it. Maybe you could just do it this way. Like you don't have to be super soft and mushy or like, you know what I'm saying? There's a way to deliver your message and to let somebody know how you feel or express how you're feeling without being soft all the time. And even if it is soft, like that's okay too. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong way to express your emotions really, unless it's disrespectful. But yeah, like I think it's cool to be vulnerable, man, because that allows people to know you. Like if you're just so cut off and closed off all the time, then how nobody's ever gonna know the real you.
Yeah, because stubbornness don't work all the damn time. It's like you got to give them a little bit of sensitive, like Ralph Tresvant would say, you got to give them a little sensitivity, just to, you know, kind of make them feel like you're normal and not just like a hard ass. I mean, you can be a hard ass too, but it's like,
Yeah.
gotta find that medium. But June, listen, appreciate this interview and chatting with you. Good conversation. I'm looking forward to this Gemini project, and everybody, you got to check out the brand new single and video. Wait for it right now. Tell them where they can follow you on social media and everything else.
Right. On social media, on Instagram is just June 3rd, JUNE 3RD. On Twitter is _ June 3rd, but the third is spelled out, so THIRD. Yeah, YouTube, everything else is just June 3rd. So yeah, I'm the most active on Twitter and Instagram. So if you're gonna hit me up, those would be the two.
All right, you guys, so that was our interview with June 3rd. And right now, we're going to get into entertainment news. Oh, my goodness. We got a lot of entertainment news to get into. And we got Dear Duane. So we're going to make this quick and snappy and get to the point because we got so many dope interviews that you guys are tuned in for. So I want to say thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Let's get into it. So Cardi B and Offset announced that they are pregnant with their second child together. If you guys were watching the BET Awards this year that happened just a couple weeks ago in LA, shout outs to BET, our friends, okay, for doing a live show and having press there, a live red carpet, like just all the dope stuff that they do, and they've been exemplifying. First of all, they've been the only ones that have really been killing as far as these awards are concerned. Even on the virtual note, did you guys see last year's BET Awards? If you haven't, go back and then make sure that you guys watch the Soul Train Awards from last year too, okay? Watch it, because they were shutting it down and they've been shutting it down. But anyway, in that performance with Migos, Cardi was, you know, clearly showing. And not only that, but the couple recently over the weekend celebrated Culture's 3rd birthday, and they gifted Culture with a diamond charm necklace. Yes. Cardi has been very busy. You know, she's been very busy in the studio. She's been working. We don't know if we're getting an album, but there has been said that there's a collaboration that has been handed out with Pop Smoke. She posted it on social media where it says CB and Pop Smoke. But could it be for Pop Smoke's new album coming out, Faith, that already has 21 tracks set for on the release? We don't know. But listen, the Estates and Steve Victor is definitely keeping Pop Smoke's legacy alive. So we love to hear it. We just love to hear Pop Smoke's music, like just that grittiness of New York. Like, I can't do it. But it's so amazing. Speaking of New York's own Nicki Minaj hops on Bia. It's a whole lot of money in this mug. Because y'all know I don't like to cuss on this show. Hopped on the remix, and she's giving a different type of flavor to the sound. So you guys got to check it out. I love what Bia's doing with her career. She did Miami Swim Week and performed the record. She has just been everywhere, killing it with this record. It's topping the Billboard charts right now. It's constantly going crazy on radio. So if you guys haven't heard the song, I'm sure you have, because it's buzzing on social media right now. Like, clearly everybody's doing a video to it, walking, having a good time. It's a great record. Speaking of great records, right? So her dropped her debut album, but she is busy. She's staying busy in the studio. She talked with Ebro for Apple Music Beats One, and she let him know that, guess what? My album might have came out, my debut album might have came out, but I'm getting ready to drop this reggae album. So she is staying busy. Like, not only that, but we wait for the tour. When we get a tour? Jeff, Janine, where's the tour? So I could, pull up. Because I got to be there. We want to see her on tour. But these concerts and these tours are really being announced. Like, they are heavily being announced. I know you guys have been paying attention to your favorite stars, seeing the festivals, the Rolling Louds, the Coachellas of the world. Listen, it is concert season on a whole nother level. But you know what? You know what season is almost? It's almost certified Level Boy season, because Drake announced that this album's in the mixing process. So we're almost getting the album. You know who else album's in the mixing process too? Seven. My girl, Seven Streeter. Y'all love her. I love her. Her album, Drunken Words. So her thoughts is in the mixing process. I peeped it in her social media caption and was like, okay, mixing. Okay. I see it in the location. I see what's happening. I see that. And then a birdie told me too that the album is getting ready. So yuck. I'm excited. I'm freaking excited. What else do we got as far as entertainment news is concerned? Oh, City Girls, Our Girls. First of all, the Twerkulator video is out, and Missy Elliott directed the video, so it is so dope. It's a nice, simple concept. You guys got to go to YouTube, check it out, and guess who else is shooting videos? And we trying to figure out when we getting it, because, you know, Navy, y'all be itching. Y'all be itching and wanting Rihanna to just give y'all music when y'all want it. Y'all think somebody's on y'all time, but the gag is, ain't nobody on your time. But it has been said that her and A$AP Rocky were in New York filming a video, from what people are saying, to be what it is. So I'm excited because it's been some years since Rihanna's dropped an album, but the whole Fenty brand has been going crazy, from Fenty Beauty to Fenty Savage. I mean, damn, Ray, like I just ordered, it's one of them, I forget what product it is that she's got, but I ordered it because Sephora did not have the product in store by the time I found out about it. So, man, listen. That girl Riri is staying busy, but she gonna give us this music when she's ready. Okay, y'all? She gonna do that. Man, so that's our entertainment news that we got. So much stuff. Oh, last week I know that we talked about Britney Spears and everything else. My girl, it's hashtag free Britney for me. I just got my Britney shirts that are they came in the mail. So if y'all see me in the next episode with the Britney shirts, and won't say free Britney, but some Britney merch, you already know what the vibes is. And the conservatorship, like just the whole legal aspect of it, has gone crazy. Members of the team and that are part of this, this conservatorship are dropping left and right. Managers, attorneys, all types of craziness is going on right now. So let's just keep Britney in thoughts and prayers, because right now she needs it the most. And this is crazy. And I believe that all of this is happening because Britney will be free soon. So Britney, love and support, darling. Everything is going to be all right. Keep your head up. Stay safe out there. I mean, you're safe. You're going to be good regardless like that. But guess what? This storm is almost over. But speaking of storm, y'all been hitting us up, okay? And I got to readjust myself as we go from entertainment news to Dear Duane, because y'all want to talk about letting go, okay? So both Sarah and Khalil emailed me over the past couple weeks, and y'all want to talk about letting go. And it wasn't just on as far as relationships that are love. They were in friendships, just in all walks of life. So I want to get into letting go and realizing the aspect of when you need to let go. When you realize that something is no longer serving you, let it go. Let it go. Be in the company of people that aligned with you. And what I mean by align with you, they have similar interests, that are on the same page as you, that are going places in their life, that are going to bring nothing but good to you and help you realize when, hey, you're not right, okay? Because a lot of us be walking around here thinking that we right and we be wrong. So make sure that you have those type of individuals that are going to encourage you, that are going to tell you that things need to be better. You need to rise to the occasion. That was cool, but you got to do something better. And if those people in your tribe, because it starts with knowing your tribe. It's so important to know your tribe, number one and first and foremost. Know your tribe. Because knowing your tribe will save broken hearts and having to let people go who aren't treating you good. But people are going to continue to treat you, are only going to treat you how you allow them to treat you. So if you're treating yourself good and you're standing your guard and you're being very vocal about what's right, what's wrong, and what you deal with, or trying to not curse what you deal with and what you don't, people won't try you or think that they can. It's the moments where we're timid, we're too vulnerable, and we aren't being boss enough. And I don't mean boss like you got to spend money, you got to floss on people, you got to stunt on people, but be boss enough and be like, look, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. If people are talking to you crazy, you got to realize that people are only going to talk to you crazy because it's what they see in the actions of you. So be aware of your actions so that people aren't treating you accordingly to how you treat yourself. I think a lot of times we put the blame on everybody else, but we're not really reading our own energy or feeling it out. Like, what am I doing to myself that is allowing people to think that they can cross me in this type of way? Because no one's going to cross you if you haven't allowed that opportunity, if you haven't opened that door. But I will say, in response to me even saying that, to back to contradict myself and to bring another thing into the fold, people are just going to try just because they're assholes and they're insecure. You know what I'm saying? So when you give people warning time after time after time, you tell them, I don't like this, we need to fix this, we need to do this, and people are not hearing to what you're saying, and you've been nice over time after time after time, you've been given, and time, money, energy, all different things, there's a moment in your life where you have to say, I'm done. You have to have enough balls, men or women, I don't care, to say, I have to let go. I have to let go. And if I don't let go, I am going to be in a situation where I'm not serving myself. We have to serve ourselves before we serve anybody else around us. That is the biggest problem of some people. We focus on everybody else, but then we lack what we're supposed to be doing for ourselves. I get be a people person. I'm a people person too, and I've learned from my mistakes. But the number one thing that I will say to anybody that is having issues with people not treating them right, look deep down inside and evaluate the behaviors of what you're doing to allow people to think that they can cross you in that way. If you aren't doing that first before asking that question out loud, that's the problem, because you're not in touch. You have to be in touch with the reality in yourself first, then ask that question. Address the issue within self and then address the issue within the person. But change your behavior, change your delivery, and things will change by then. And if they don't get it once you have done that for yourself, and most importantly, bring it to their attention, they gotta go. I don't care if it's a situationship, boyfriend, mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, whoever. Do not allow people to treat you any old type of way, folks. So, and if you got to let them go, listen, let them go, feel no regret, because guess what? You've warned them. They don't know how to treat you. They don't respect you enough to hear of what you're saying. Let them go. Let them go. So Sarah and Khalil, that's my advice to you. And for anybody that has any issues of dealing with letting go or when to let go, it's all about the alignment. When you're not on the same page and shit's all off, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Because that's where they want to be, like Keisha Cole said, okay? And listen, that's Dear Duane. I appreciate you guys sending in emails. Make sure you guys hit us up at David Duane and at On Air with David for any more Dear Duane questions in the industry, any type of relationship advice. We want to provide that for you. Or you can send us an email at info@onairwithdavid.com. Reach out to us. But listen, you guys, we're going to get back into our interviews for tonight. We're going to get into our interview with Final Draft and Koryn Hawthorne. Just get into this show, guys. If you're just tuning in all late or whatever y'all may do, because some of y'all be late. Y'all be late to the party, just like sometimes I be late to my own stuff, okay? But we on time with it. But make sure that you guys keep it locked. And yes, enjoy the show. Again, thank you guys for being here. You guys don't have to, but you guys are here. All right, let's get into this interview with Final Draft and Koryn. We'll be back.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, it's Final Draft. And make sure y'all check out our guy, David Duane. Yes.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into On Air with your one and only rock star on the mic, David Duane, in the place to be and right here, right now. We've got our boys, Final Draft. Now, if y'all don't know who Final Draft is, listen, they are an amazing group that you guys have seen on America's Got Talent. Listen, They have been doing their thing for a few years now. I'm so glad to have these brothers back with us to talk about their brand new project, the New Kings of R&B. What's going on, my guys?
What's going on, man? How you doing? It's been a long time, man.
I know. Listen, it's so good to have you guys, especially, you know, being in this new space that you guys are and that I'm in, even though we're going through a crazy ass, you know, climate in the world. I want to say, you know, before we even got started, I just want to say so everybody knows, like, congratulations, because seeing you guys' journey to go from 4 to 3 and keep that energy still there is amazing. So I want to know, was that easy or was there some difficulties, you know, just kind of keeping the train going? Because a lot of groups go through different lineup changes where they might switch members, or they might, the numbers might actually switch within the actual original lineup. So was that a difficult process, or did you guys just feel it in your heart and spirit that, like, listen, this is what we love to do, we just want to keep this rolling just like this?
I think just like that, man, it's what we love to do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're destined to do. So I feel like it was only right to keep the train going. We couldn't let our fans down. We worked too hard to get to the part that we had just to completely stop. You know what I'm saying? I say the hard was just answering the questions of fans, you know, just constantly answering that question over and over again. But, you know, it's been us three since, man, and we've been holding it down, man. You know, D is still a part of the team, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's always our brother, man, you know what I'm saying? So we all family, so we just moving on one accord.
Yeah. And we, you know,
Exactly.
everybody plays their part and actually hold their part down.
Yeah.
So we all know what we're here to do. We all on one accord. Nobody's trying to outdo anybody. So we, you know, and that's what kept us grounded and, you know, like I say, standing the test of time, man. We here, still going. Yeah.
Right, and I'm glad that you mentioned family because listen, that's what it's always been about with y'all as brothers, as your team, from management to PR, stuff like this. So I love the family aspect, and I know we've talked about this before, but just keeping that family aspect around and, you know, just having that help you stay grounded. How important for y'all is that as artists, and not only as artists but as men going along in this business?
It's very, very, very important, you know what I'm saying? Because you can get pulled from this business a lot of different ways, you know what I'm saying? Our team always told us that, you know, and they always kept us sharp. And I feel like, you know, the people you have around you you reflect that, you know? And I feel like if you got good people around you to keep your head straight, to keep you, you know what I'm saying, keep you focused, keep you sharp, keep you away from certain things and just teaching you the game. You know what I'm saying? It's really a blessing, man. Shout out to the team, Earl Jam, Mom Dukes, HGC.
Yeah, and I actually thank God for the family. Because I wouldn't want it another way.
Yeah.
The way we've been, you know, the way it's been dealt with, I wouldn't want another way. I couldn't have another way. That's fast. So I really do love the family tied, and you know, it's just like any other family out there. You know, everybody, you know, we all love each other. We all here, like it's real love. It's not like
right, yeah.
We all live together, so you know, that's a plus.
Right, that is a plus, and plus you guys really put that blood, sweat, and tears to you know into everything that y'all do, and even having so much that y'all had a billboard in New York when the project dropped. That when I heard about that and I seen it on Instagram, I said, "Whoa!"
Right,
so lit, so lit.
Not only were my boys on TV, billboard in New York. Now that's dope. You know, that's real hard work. So just seeing that happen, like, what was the feeling? I would have been like, oh shit. I mean, I'm sure you guys were like, oh shit, but what was the reaction?
I didn't go to sleep till like, I think it was 6, like in the morning.
Up for a while.
We literally like we
stayed up
all
the whole
night
time. Like I
recording that whole entire thing. We like, yo, we couldn't believe it.
Just, you know, just growing up seeing, you know what I'm saying, seeing the billboard and just, you know, having dreams of being on there one day. When we seen it, it's like everything just flashed. Like from when we started to where we are now, like where we came from, it just flashed like that. And it was a very, very heartfelt moment. Man. Like,
New York is like second home. You know, we be there all the time. And it's like, wow.
I was gonna say, that's one of y'all stomping grounds outside of being from Atlanta.
You got a lot of fans out there, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's amazing that you guys have always been touring and just, you know, really expanding your fan base and stuff like that. So I know that it's been really crazy, as I said, with COVID and stuff like that, and the stop of shows and stuff like that. But you guys continue to, you know, stay connected with your fans, and have always been really good about that, having virtual shows, listening parties, making sure that you guys are on IG, tweeting, Zoom, whatever y'all got to do. How important is that to, you know, stay connected with your fans now and even then, you know, as you guys progress in your career?
It's very important. You know what I'm saying? We can't do it without them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're just as important as we are. Exactly. The love that they show on a daily basis is phenomenal, man. We got like the best fans in the world, man. They be finding out stuff before we do. You know what I'm saying? But it's always consistent, man. Like, they never let us down. They always hold us down. And that gives us the energy to keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? And to keep it fighting. And it's a real big time because, you know, social media, you can touch people in so many ways. So it's very important to stay in touch with your fans and keep that relationship.
And want to let people know it's real, you know what I mean? It's real. And so, like, it's always the same saying, the moment you stop having fun, what you've done with it. This is what we love to do, man. And want the fans to hey, we having fun. We want y'all to feel it. Hey, that's what it is.
Whatever love they give, we give back to them.
Right. tenfold for real. And you guys are getting a lot of love for this new Kings of R&B project. I know that just the whole Kings of R&B thing was so controversial, but I want to say something. As Black men, we are kings. As men, we are kings. I think that there is a big problem with giving that recognition to men. Why do y'all think that society has an issue with that? Forget the music industry, you know what I'm saying, for 1 second, but why do you think that there's a big problem with that?
I think because, it's been something that's been created just for society time, you know what I'm saying? It's like always like, oh, it's always trying to put you against one another, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what they always created, you know what I'm saying? I feel like now it's still there, but like it's bringing light to it, you know what I'm saying? Because of social media and the time that we're in now, everything is not a blind eye, everything is open.
Everything is there, right?
Yeah. So because back then you couldn't really see, or you just heard and like seen it, you know what I'm saying? Like, or read it, you never really actually seen it, So just transitioning from that, just really fighting that to break that stereotype.
And as we all know, it's power.
Yeah.
Once you we're kings. You let us in here, it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
We don't. Black men, we dominate everything we do. We
we're gonna bring everybody with us.
Right. It's power, man. It's power.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to really emphasize and show that power, even in our queens, whether it be Black, Latino, white women, it's like that. We want them to feel empowered too. So we should not feel like that there should be less empowerment in the men.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That's what we created, man.
Yeah, and it's not to put it out there, but when we was doing our visuals, we put our in there. It's what we want, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be. And this is real. This is how we are.
Yeah.
So when visuals come out, you can see that. You know what I mean? So.
And that's one thing that I've always loved about y'all. Y'all have always been real. The transition has been real. How you guys have gotten opportunities to perform on stages and done interviews on Sister Circle, Wendy Williams, perform in New York, LA, Houston, Dallas, overseas, all that different stuff too. We can't forget about the y'all UK fans too, because they go crazy for y'all. So we gotta stamp it off. Y'all been real from the jump, and it's been a real build up to this point.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's why we're getting tremendous love like we are. You know what I mean? We want to see the real deal, and that's what the New Kings R&B is, man. The EP is here, man.
They see the grind, they see the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like someone told me something that was real dope. It was like, you guys are like, they referred us to like a rose bush. You know what I'm saying? Like you see a garden of roses.
Wow.
You see all these roses, but the field that we're in, there's so many different people that pop up. You know what I'm saying? That come and go all the time. You know what I'm saying? And they were just saying like, out of all of those, there's only one rose that takes his time and it gets the nurtures in, and that's one of the most beautiful roses in the garden, and that's what they referred us to. So I was like, man, that's pretty deep. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty dope. Seeing that people look at us like that, you know what I mean, and just really gravitate to what we do.
And if you could read some of the DMs we get, man, it's like, wow,
man, so heartfelt.
It's wow.
Screenshot them. Let me read them. No, that's amazing. But you know what? Y'all deserve all the recognition and love and opportunities because, like I said, and this is no cap, y'all have been putting in serious work. And people who are brand new to hearing about you through this interview right now will see even the buildup from, previous interviews, the previous performances. This was meant for y'all, for real. Y'all work for this.
That's what happens when you don't quit.
9 years. They say overnight. 9 years, man.
9 years.
We never quit it, man. We never stop, man. And that's one thing I love about the team. I love about us. You know what I'm saying? We one mind and one goal, man. We really, really trying to achieve this iconic status, man. Yeah. And that's the goal, man.
And y'all are headed there. You just gotta keep that energy up. And I want to talk about what's real. It's some damn mistakes. We all make mistakes in relationships. So I gotta know, I hate to say what's the tea, but what is the tea behind this record? Just the true inspiration.
Man, I got caught up I got caught up.
I knew it would be you.
I knew it'd be you.
I got,
Man, me too, man.
I got,
All of y'all.
I can't put it on him, man. I can't put it all on him.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those, just feel like with mistakes, man, we really wanted to make an anthem that touched both sides.
Yeah.
The men's view and the women's view at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know what I'm saying? Just really touching with the real, the relatable stuff that really happens every day.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that can't express themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't express their feelings. So we want to make our music so relatable that you can dedicate this song, like literally word for word. Because, you know, growing up, like you heard songs you dedicated, but like some songs, like they'll go a little left and be like, all right, that's cool. But for you to dedicate a whole song and then to relate to it is just beautiful.
Like tell the woman we messed up, man.
Yeah,
we need that more. Not less, we need that more. You know what I mean?
It's all right. We can admit when we wrong, but it takes a man to.
And every song you heard on the album, we wrote.
Yeah,
so we all we write how we express.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Y'all know I know music. And the fact that y'all wrote records that not only resonated to men and women, whatever sexuality, whatever race they were. You know, this was a wide spread out project.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to take your experiences and put it into music, because now we know, and it's been happening over the time of years since we haven't spoken, the music, whether it's R&B, whether it's hip hop, whether it's pop, whether it's rock, some of the genres and the concepts within it, in this, not even the subject matter. There we go. The subject matter has been always shifting, but you guys not only kept it on beat, you got the modern sound, the sound that everybody loves, that turn up, but you guys got the sound from the 90s, in the 80s, in the early 2000s, still fused in there, and not forgetting that was a moment in time that the kids have to understand.
Yeah. And that's crazy you said that. We did this thing called Legend Talk to show that we had, and you know, people love the covers that we were doing, you know, and we created something where we can show where it came from.
Right.
Wanted to show our fans and introduce them, like we did Stevie D from the Force MDs.
Yes.
Shout out to Gerald Austin from the Manhattans. You know, and just having those icons and just showing people like, yo, this is the music that I love hearing sing, but this is where it came from. You know, and just introducing the new fans and the younger fans to where it all started.
So we put the Lionel Richie and the Babyface, and we put all that in. We put all that in the record.
Yeah,
we put all that in.
When I heard that on again, I was like, that switch up was so amazing. And then let's talk about again, and just the inspiration, if we can, because I love that. And it's it's not easy to do it to me a record. Like you gotta have a voice.
Yeah.
You can't fuck around with Tamia, because she is just one of those artists that are so authentic, and you guys give an authentic sound.
Sing.
So I have to tell the truth about this record because it's funny, right? So we was actually in the process of doing the album, and I had went home to visit my family back home, and on the way back I was writing to the beat Luck had sent me, and I get here, they writing the same exact thing that I'm writing. It's like so crazy.
Wow.
Here and put this down on the track, and they put theirs down. I hear them like, yo, we think alike. It's like crazy. To me, I just took it away, and I just heard that vibe. And then this man right here come with the baby face. I'm like, yo, it's out of here. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy how that record was like actually, you know, written.
And the whole story behind the record is, you know, it's very self-explanatory. Like, when can I see you again? When can I be with you again?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? In a long distance relationship, or you haven't seen them in a couple months, or COVID, like right now, you know what I'm saying? You really can't see them. So it's like, man, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to hold you again. So you just basically reminiscing until you see that person.
Right.
That sound that she had made you feel like that.
Yeah. It was automatic.
Super. And Tamia gives that, like, if she doesn't speak to your heart when she drops an album, first of all, that last album, the last two albums.
Fire.
Tamia, she's a friend of the show too, so she knows how I feel about that project.
Right.
So it's with,
we got a remix.
What's up? What up?
She'll probably end up seeing this someday. Actually, next time she comes on the show, we're gonna play just that part right there. All this. Because it's so important to give people their flowers while they're here. And I love the fact that y'all do that and just always paying homage. The importance of studying the grades. Can we talk about that? Because I think that there's a lot of new guys that come in that don't understand. They gotta know the Temptations, they gotta know the Jacksons, they gotta know the LaBelles, they gotta know Donny Hathaway, they've gotta know a Beyonce, they gotta know a Britney Spears, they gotta know a Pac, they gotta know a Big, they gotta know a NWA, they gotta know a Crisscross. I mean, the whole yard. Yeah.
That's the thing. That's with this popcorn music. I'm not calling out any artist, but if you don't study the music and you don't know what was before, then you lost, because that's where the sound is really coming from. Yeah. You know what I mean? You like this dude right here didn't know who the Real Temptation was, but he studied his music though.
I thought there was the people in the movie.
5 Heartbeats. He thought 5 Heartbeats really was a Temptation. But so once he did his studying,
at least you learned though.
Right, exactly.
And just being a singer, period, and as a group, harmonies, like that era from the Temptations to the 90s, all the way to the 2000s, harmonies, groups were ridiculous. And now you don't really see a bunch of us out here. Mainstream, you don't hear us on the radio, girls, guys, you know what I'm saying? Right. So we trying to really break down that barrier for groups, period, especially in this R&B field. You can't move on with R&B and not have groups involved. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So just really study and being a student to the game. Right. Like boys, like this man sounds like everybody from the 90s down with power. I put stacks on it. His falsetto is ridiculous. Like from Eddie Maxwell to Eddie Kendricks to everybody. I'm smooth.
All these are crazy.
And when it
I literally listened to this project and I was like, what? I'm like, they have not only improved in the brand, but vocally, y'all are just like smoking aces and other stuff.
Man,
the way it sounded.
You know what? And that's why we came up with New Kings R&B. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We've been singing like this for a long time, since the beginning of our careers. And there was a point in time when nobody was really singing like that. There was a point in time when nobody was singing like that. You know, I felt like we was bringing it back and making people sing. If you were gospel art, they be blowing all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right. But as far as R&B and now, nobody was really singing like that. Right. Until they seen, like, nobody wasn't singing Temptation covers and covers from the 70s down to the 90s, especially how we do.
We went way back.
You know what I mean? And songs like Say Goodbye, Kiss and Say Goodbye, My Girl, you know what I'm saying? Boys in the End of the Road. You know what I'm saying? Smokey Robinson, Ooh, Baby Baby. You know what I'm saying? Go on for days. And I just felt like, and just, like you said, we always gave our legends their roses while they're here. You know what I'm saying? We always paid homage.
And even in the 90s, we did 90s.
Yeah, from Berry Gordy to Lil G to John to RL to Q Parker for 112 to Gerald Austin to Eddie Levert. Like so many great people just saying like, yo, you guys are next. You passing y'all the torch. So we felt like, hey, we New Kings. So we gonna hold it down. So
definitely gotta hold it down. And can we talk about RL? We just had him on the last episode, and what I talked to him about was just the fact that there are not a lot of male R&B groups. But y'all are still here, and there's not a lot of them that we see. So keeping the visibility there, how important is that for honestly any group or in just any artist, so that they can constantly, be to the forefront? Because there's some male groups that we don't know about, and there's some female groups too. We just aren't seeing them.
Right, exactly.
That's a fact. That's what I was touching on earlier. Like, really trying to break down that barrier for groups, period. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we'll crawl before we walk. We can take that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll take everything that come with it. People see us like, and I feel like that's the main struggle of bringing that group back. You haven't seen groups since what, 2000s, B2K? You haven't seen groups since then. So seeing it's like, people be like, oh man, it's just another group, or the stereotypes of groups, but it's like, nah, this is R&B. This is the foundation of R&B. You know what I'm saying? And just knowing that we just wanted to be the biggest group ever to do it.
And so
to do it now. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and like you were saying, and to whoever's out there with all the groups, like we don't know if they're the first ones or it don't matter. We're gonna keep grinding. We're not gonna stop.
We're gonna keep fighting for groups.
We're just gonna bust it open, man.
Guy groups, girl groups. man.
New King's R&B is punching.
You know what I'm saying?
Punching straight at them. And Turn On is another great record, but I've got to know, what are some of y'all personal favorites from the project? I know it's only 7, and you guys brought back About You on this project. I got to say thank you, because all the real fans will know that record.
Know that record,
Yeah. I'm gonna say, for me, I'm gonna say Can't Wait, Again, and Better.
Yeah.
It's the main 3 I listen to.
Man.
I like Started, Better, and Mistakes. Those are my 3 favorites. Actually, I like the whole EP, but
He gonna say that.
I can't choose, man. I love it all, man. It's really hard to choose which favorites, but like, I love them all.
Yeah, I mean, I play the whole album.
You know what I mean?
The ones I play the most.
You know, but yeah.
I have to be honest.
I played the whole project too, so I don't think I found a favorite. I think I'm at 1. I think Turn On, and then again will be a top 2.
Right.
But it's so smooth. The process of actually recording this project, how long did it actually take?
Man, I would say it took about between like mixing and mastering, it's like probably like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like including videos and stuff like that.
And we had more songs. We just really sat down and put it together with the team. And we was like, what's gonna make this thing go?
And it's crazy because a lot of fans were asking for the music. Like, where's the music? Where's the music? You know, we had
Man, I was wondering where the music was. I'm like, where my project at? Damn it!
Yeah, so like they had Used To, About You, and Beautiful, and like they just heard us kept singing like, man, I can't wait to your album. I can't wait to your album. I can't wait to something drop. So we're like, yeah, you know what? You're gonna just surprise them, and what a beautiful way to do it around this time, you know? And everybody's just gravitated to it, like going crazy.
Yeah, we got some crazy response.
Yeah,
Crazy.
like everything is moving from, you know, everything. Like it's just amazing right now, man. Cloud 9 for sure.
It's gotta be a Cloud 9 experience, and congratulations again. So you know, I gotta ask y'all. Y'all gotta tell me. Well, I hope y'all tell me. What videos are we getting? What are those? What songs did we shoot the video for?
Can we say that?
Can we say that? Okay. So we just shot Started and Better.
Yeah.
We got
mistakes.
We're gonna put that out right there. We're just gonna put that out right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave that right there. Wow. So are there any plans to do videos for the rest of the 7?
Oh, it's already in the making.
It's in the talks.
Yeah.
See, I like that y'all always are working ahead to pull, and when y'all ready to pull that trigger, it's like, boom, there you go. Because it's so important to stay ahead and to always be ready at the ready.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree, man.
There's always a saying that our CEO always told us, man. It's better to be ready than to get ready.
Yeah, Earl J.
That's something that always stuck with us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And let's talk about being on America's Got Talent and just that experience before I have you do our last and famous question. How was that experience, you know, how was it just being able to be on a platform and a show like that to help you even leverage, you know, and get to the next stage? Because y'all already came in with some fire on your own, doing the covers and building the fan base and touring. But that put a little extra spice to it and just made it so.
That actually opened up the door for us right there.
Did.
And when everybody saw TV, that's when everything started.
Yeah. When we first got the call, we was like, wait, they want us to come on the show?
Want us to come
Right.
on the show?
I was like, what? Okay, let's do it. You know, because it's crazy because the stage and the crowd is what we used to. It was really just being in front of the judges and knowing their status. Like you got Howie, Heidi,
Simon.
Melby, and Simon.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell.
When we won Simon over, we knew we was like, okay.
That moment was crazy. I think like after that, like we felt like we won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if we win him over, like, cause you know he's a tough dude to like, and he's gonna keep it 100 with you right off the rip. But when we singing and I'm looking over and I see him smile, I'm like,
We got it.
oh,
Like, all right, let's go.
we got it, y'all. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a dope experience knowing that millions of people, that the world was watching and people were home were watching, and the support we had after was ridiculous. You know, and some of the stuff they were saying, like how we saying your lives will never be the same. And you know, Simon saying there's a gap for us in the market. Just taking all those little things and just, you know, just seeing great people just comment and just see it.
And it definitely
You know?
taught us to stay on our toes. Cause
Yeah.
it's some singers out there, man.
Yeah.
You just gotta stay. You gotta stay on your toes. Yeah, definitely.
You
So
definitely.
it's nice, man.
You definitely got to stay on your toes, and it's so important to just always stay developing, stay rehearsing, stay writing, stay doing whatever it is to keep your craft very sharp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because like y'all said, there's always somebody else. But the best thing I tell people is when we focus what we got going on in our car versus we're looking over in the other lanes and what they in their cars.
Exactly.
It's too much distraction going on. We gotta focus. I love the fact that you guys have stayed focused. So I've got to know, and this is our famous question that we like to ask all our guests. What are 2 to 4 things that you guys exemplify as men and then as artists and entrepreneurs?
As we said earlier,
amazing question,
man. Yeah, I would say like a family, and at a time now, like just family and music is for me, and just staying grounded, man. Like staying out the way. I really trying to be this icon and want to be this role model for the younger future, man. It's like that's my motivation right now, and I just been 100% about manifesting and just being a better person, man.
Touching. That's pretty much touching on what he's saying. You know, it's just staying more focused. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, improving your craft. And just and leading by example. Yeah. Showing like people that's us, you know what I'm saying, black and brown, that come from the areas that we come from, that dreams do come true. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we all were underdogs at one point in our lives until our dreams came true. Yeah. So we always want to be living witness, and they do come true. Just keep believing, keep fighting, keep believing is the main thing. And never give up, and find people that really believe, man. And I think that's the hardest thing to find. Real support. You know what I'm saying? Find your real people that really believe in the vision.
Not a role model, a real model.
Yeah.
Now, well said, and that's what we have always been about with this show and stuff like that. Just letting people know that when you got talent and stuff like that, just go for it. Just push and pursue, because if you don't, you're going to feel that regret. And anybody can do anything by all means at any age, as long as they've got that feeling and passion in their heart. So I'm glad you guys are always understanding of that. And once again, guys, congratulations, brand new project, New Kings of R&B, and congratulations on all the success. I'm super, super proud of you guys, and so glad to speak to you all today.
Thank you, man. Congratulations to you on the network, everything you accomplished.
Yeah, man. Congrats, man.
Journey that you reached out to.
Thank you.
We can't leave without singing, man.
It's all about you. 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 It's all about you.
Hey, y'all did that. Listen, they weren't ready for that. And this is the exact reason why people need to get the New Kings of R&B. And just in case fans are not following you on social media, let them know where they can follow you and stay connected.
It's number 4 Final Draft. That's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. Number
Take
4
time.
Final Draft. Make sure y'all go follow y'all.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our website, officialfinaldraft.com, for the dope New Kings R&B merch.
Gotta get that merch.
And New Kings R&B is on all streaming platforms.
There we go.
We appreciate you.
The number 4 Final Draft. Let's get it. Our boy Duane. Hey.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Koryn Hawthorne, and you are tuned in with my boy David Duane.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into On Air with the one and only rock star on the mic, David Duane, in the place to be. And right now, we got the phenomenal Koryn Hawthorne joined with us. Listen, y'all don't know who Koryn is. She is an amazing gospel, inspirational artist. She's got this brand new album called I Am. And listen, if you guys don't have it, get it on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Tidal, everything. Koryn joined with us. What's going on?
What is good, baby?
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. You know, it is the week of the album release, and I am feeling blessed and highly favored, and I'm really excited. I'm doing good, though.
Amen. And let me tell you something. Congratulations on this sophomore project. And thank you so much for joining us today to talk about it. Because like I told you before we even got started, man, that virtual listening party and just being able to hear the music and tap into it, just seeing your reaction to talk about each record was so amazing. So I got to say shout out to your amazing team. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm happy that you tuned in and you liked it.
Yes, you were giving me so much energy. And in your energy, you are from Louisiana and stuff like that. So growing up in Louisiana and just kind of for the people who aren't too familiar who you are, even though they should be, but we're gonna get them together today. Just being that girl from Louisiana and just growing up, did you ever think that your music career would ever just kind of like be the way that it is today? Or did you just kind of, what were your thoughts initially?
Like I've been singing ever since I could remember. I don't think I thought I could do anything else. This was always going to be it. I don't know how, when, where, and what, Lord, but it had to be this. I don't think that I thought that it would have been in this way. I didn't think that I could have done gospel music because I didn't feel like they had anybody like me or like I related to anybody, in the space at the time. So, I've been singing ever since I was 7, been auditioning since I was 11 years old. Finally got the opportunity to be on The Voice, and that definitely helped me to be more confident in who I was, and also allowed me to know that being different was okay and that God had a plan for that. So that was just an amazing opportunity for me, and going on from there and releasing my first album, and now we're releasing the second album. But yeah, I don't know. I'm grateful to God just for the steps that he's like taken in my life. I feel like he's been super particular, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just 22, so like the story is still being unfolded.
Yeah, that story is still
being written.
Woo!
Written, okay? But I'm grateful for what I've done so far, and hopefully, my life can just inspire other people to, depend on God in all things and trust that he is definitely going to lead God and direct you. It's the best life. He give us the best life. So
amen. And can we talk about the fact that you've won a Dove, a Stellar, NAACP Image Award? Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one somewhere, but you got some accolades already at the age of 22. So being the fact that you have these accolades, like that is incredible. Like not many 22-year-olds can say that they have accomplished the things that you have accomplished. And you have such a long journey to go. So to get us, and even not even us, but to get yourself to this point of I am, because on this album you speak a lot of volumes that a lot of people can feel like they can, that resonates with the soul, whether they're a man, a woman, no matter what the age is, it resonates with the soul. So how do we get to I am in this album?
Yeah, I think that this kind of just like tugged on the whole identity thing. I'm like so big on identity and encouraging people to find out who they are in God. And I think that the only reason you find that out is by finding him. When you get to know God, you get to know yourself. And I think that I was very lucky to like know who I was at a young age. But even though I knew what God was speaking over my life, I doubted it. And I think that because of my doubts, the devil creeped in and he could cause delay and just insecurity and doubt and so many different thoughts and all that. But I kind of feel like this is a season where you don't have no time for that, baby. As bad as 2020 has been with all the problems and the issues in this world, now is a time for such a time as this where you created to be exactly what God has called you to be. Yes, I am strong. I am a gospel singer. I am a nurse. I am a business owner. Whatever that thing is in your life that God has told you, he's spoken to you, his promises are so sure. Do not allow the devil to tell you that you are not what he called you to be. And don't tell yourself that you're not, because a lot of times we are our own worst enemy too. So I just think that this album is just a testament of that. It's a testament of being bold and courageous in those things that you know you got and you know that you're supposed to do, because they got people waiting for what you have to give to the world. And that's kind of like where I am. It's just like, yes, I am. I sure am going to do it. And who going to stop me?
Nobody. It wasn't ready for me to start singing, which is like that. That is so true. And I try to tell people, you have to follow God's plan and trust in him with whatever that journey is and what it looks like for you. Don't go off creeping and try to listen to what the devil is saying, because the devil is always busy trying to interrupt the greatness of what's within you that was already created for you to be great.
Don't preach. Don't get on here preaching like that.
Listen, you had me preaching earlier today, so you had me preaching. But no, it's the truth, because I think that there are people that lack a lot of self-esteem and true confidence within themselves. And it's okay, because we all go through that. And I know that's a journey that we all, and a hurdle that we all have to cross and like that. And even with this project being the fact that you co-wrote 7 of these records, you really felt that confidence and said, you know what, I'm a rock with this.
Yeah.
And what was also great about this project, you work with Jonte Austin, you work with Tri Bishop, you work with Troy Taylor, and I was like, woo, through the whole project.
Yeah. Shout out to those producers, Troy Taylor, Jonte. These are legendary people, y'all.
Yes.
I'm saying Jonte done wrote for Mary J. and Mariah Carey. This ain't nothing to play with right here. So shout out to him. Shout out to DJ Camper, who is doing his thing right now in all genres of music. And I think that I'm just completely blessed and honored to just work with so many people who are literally living in the I am stage of their life, where they're confident in who they are. And because of that, the gift can flow out so easily and so strong. And shout out to Breland, who is my baby, who, oh my God, that
I don't want to say crack, because this ain't the interview that we supposed to be saying things like that. But y'all wrote some. Whoo!
That is my baby. I love Breland like to pieces. He is just so talented and so smart. And Breland worked on Pray and Sunday, and those are like my 2 favorites on the album. And yeah, so this album is special, and I just hope that, you know, people get what they need to get from out of it. I know that God has a plan for it, but I'm grateful to just be the vessel.
Yeah, and those 2 records, Pray and Sunday, I love what you and Breland did with the writing. Like, oh my gosh, when I heard those 2 records, I was just like, thank you, Jesus, like literally. And because the energy with that, and there's one particular record that they gonna know about it, that is so beautifully you know which one I'm talking about. You did your thing on it, child. You did your on it. But these 2 records, we gonna get.
What are you talking about?
You putting your ear to it. Wait, let me talk about these records first.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, like seriously, I love the message behind them. So working with Breland and being able to, you know, honestly collaborate with somebody who is doing his thing, that we're also seeing like shine as an artist as well too, and it's not afraid to box itself in. So you not being able to box yourself in, how important was that through this process, and even working with him?
I don't like the way that me and Breland even connected was just such a God thing that it wasn't even like planned or thought out. Like you said, Breland is in country, he's in pop, and then he's writing gospel for me. And he said that Pray was like the first gospel record that he's ever written. But Breland is a preacher, minister kid, which is just so crazy to me that I'm just like, boy, stop playing. Like, and he just just so gifted. So I think now it's important for me, like just looking, I'm just so grateful for that opportunity, because God, like, he don't make mistakes in the connections that he makes. And I think that, you know, on the other hand, it was very important for us to work with just dope people like DJ Camper, who is just dope. Like we want to work with you. Like Troy Taylor, I worked with him on my last album, and it was like, hey, like we want to work with you again. Just people who are doing dope things, who are not, you know, technically gospel producers or, you know, are gospel writers, but people who are just gifted, period, and who believe. We need you to
I
believe.
just want to say they are true believers. Says, if they don't know from watching my interview with Troy and then having him on my panel,
Troy Taylor is saved.
a believer. If you don't know about Troy Taylor, he is a believer, and we let y'all know here.
So yes, I think that it was just like really important to just work with people who are gifted but believers, and people who are not afraid to step out of what they do on the norm. You know, that's what's important to me, because I like to push myself outside of what, you know, might be particular, or what people might expect from me, or what people might expect from gospel music. Is just important for me to, you know, do what God is calling me to do and just be good at it. That's what's important to me.
Right. And I like the fact that you said just doing what is called on you, so like that, because you're not just talking about God on this project. You're really talking about that self-discovery that one feels and everything. And I love the fact, girl, I gotta even pull up this track listing because you got a lot of amazing hits on this project. And I gotta say, start from scratch. It's one of my favorites. I was just listening to that before we started doing this interview. Just the message behind it. If you can, for those who haven't checked it out, or for those who might not have dived into all of the the records like that, it might have it on shuffle. Tell them about that record because it's sometimes very important to start from scratch,
Sure.
even when it's not even a bad situation. It can be a good moment of just being able to hit that reset at times.
Definitely. I think that we all get to a place where we need to start over. I think that for some people, you might feel like you've done some things that are just horrible, and you might feel like God is not even looking your way. I've been to that place, but his grace is so sufficient. And I think that this song is literally about grace and how grace is literally offering you a new start. That with Jesus, he can offer you a new start every day if you need it. So I think that it was really important to make this record, and especially for my generation who might feel like they didn't entangled in some things that they might not know how to get out of, or they might have a lot of guilt and shame and condemnation. There is no condemnation in Christ Jesus, and his grace is sufficient and just so strong and wide and long enough for whatever it is that you done, because you don't deserve grace no matter what. You don't deserve it just off the top. So I think that this is the perfect song to let you know that you can always start over no matter what. It's one decision. You can't change the past, but it only takes one decision to change the future. And hopefully that decision is following Jesus and allowing him to do what he wants to do, what he can do in your life. And yeah, so that's my encouragement on Start From Scratch. That song is also vibey. So
yes.
Yeah.
What I like about this project is you already have some videos that are out for the record as well too. Now, I know that we're going through some crazy times and stuff like that, and we'll kind of touch on that too. But were these videos shot prior to, or some of these videos done during these recent times?
These were done during these recent times. We did not shoot anything prior to COVID. So we got the job done and nobody got the Rona. So thank you, G. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, we definitely followed protocol with just like making sure we had like limited people on set and things like that. But even still, like, I still want to shoot videos for different things on the album that we're going to have to go and do. Even the photo shoot was shot during COVID. So we got the job. I went out there, y'all, in these COVID streets for y'all to give y'all these good visuals and good shots. I did. And I'm going to continue to do it. But thank you, Jesus. Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you guys went ahead and did it during these times. I've been telling a lot of people, like, life does have to go on, and all we got to do is just do the things that we did before. We just got to do a little bit more safe, and we got to be very cautious.
Take precautions. You got to adjust. That's all that it is. And as long as you're taking the necessary precautions, and if somebody would have showed up on set when they knew that they was feeling sick, stay to y'all house if y'all got some symptoms of that Rona. But if you feel fine, wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep it safe. Keep it 6 feet.
Right, because we don't want to have to beat you down.
Somebody, they give me that wrong.
Yes, my complete mood. How would you say you've been able to just like adapt, to these times now, being the fact that you have to, now we can't do things like like press runs like that, but we can do them virtually. We here right now having a full-blown conversation, stuff like that, but just being able to adapt to, certain things.
Yeah, I think that I'm doing it the best way that I can. I think that I'm pretty like adjustable. Like I can adapt to any situation. So I think I'm just trying to do it the best way that I can and be patient with others. And hopefully people are being patient with me. I think, being at home kind of shifts the focus a little bit. It's kind of weird. And so I think for me, it's just making sure I'm still giving y'all as much energy as I would be giving y'all as if I was in person. And I appreciate people like yourself who is giving me all the energy as if I was there in the flesh. And yeah, this is the best that we can do. And like you said, life got to go on. And I think that people still need to get the job done despite, the show must go on. Life is show business. The show must go on.
So I want to also talk a little bit more about this recording process for this album and just how authentic it was. Can we talk about that as well? Because I know that was something that on the listening event you kind of spoke about as well.
Yeah, I think that this was just really dope simply because like we didn't like pre-plan anything. We just like went in the studio every single day and just made songs from scratch for the most part. I mean, we did have some submissions beforehand that were like what people had wrote like amazing songs for me, and I was like definitely want it, but like the bulk of the album was just going in a studio and talking and creating amazing records authentically, as raw, as pure. And I think that that's just a blessing within itself, because I know a lot of people try to kind of like commercial and like overthink this thing where they're like, oh, I want a song that sounds like this, or I want a song that sounds like that. We didn't do that, and because of that, like I can be grateful and confident, you know, that it's not overthought, it's not processed. You know, I kind of like to compare stuff like clean food. You know, you're supposed to eat clean, healthy food where it comes from the earth and from the ground. You don't want processed food that got all these extra additives and preservatives and all of that extra stuff. You want clean food that's good for your body, good for your digestive system, all that good stuff. This music is clean.
Right.
No additives, no preservatives, no, and phone ring to that, no extra sugars, okay? It's clean. It's clean food. So I hope that y'all get it, and that's what it does for your soul, is that it cleans you out and it doesn't like affect you in no kind of way. That's a word.
Yeah.
Do a sermon on that.
Yes. Can we? We must.
Let's do it. Let's figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But you know, I love the fact that this process was just very organic, because a lot of times, you know, you'll see the artist and they're like really trying to force certain things, and it's like, how about we just record? How about we just love what it is? How about we just do what we do? Okay, that's the mission school. We won't record that one right there. We're gonna record this one right there. Record this. Okay, let's write. Because I feel like the best form of art comes when you're just organically saying, let me just
do what I'm called to do. I am. Be who you are. Like,
instead you didn't box yourself in at all. Like literally, if like anybody who's watching this who has not downloaded and streamed the album, which we encourage download and stream over here. So download and stream all the above. Yes. It's like they'll get their fix, as I like to say. They'll find something for them. So with you in this album, what are the top 3 for you, would you say? Like, I know Pray is one for you.
Pray, for sure. Ooh, Pray, You. Dang, you only giving me 3.
You want to do 4?
Pray, You, Sunday, How Great. What did you like? You like Joy?
I do. Can we talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
Woo. The vocals that you're giving is what I want to mainly focus on. Just being able to just structure that record and stuff like that. Was there any difficulties? Was there any, or did you find that one being being easy for you?
Yeah, it was easy for me. Like, I don't really feel like I had no difficult moments in the studio. I think the most difficulty I had was my dog. Say hey to Promise, everybody.
Oh, he is so cute. I was waiting for him to show up earlier today.
Nope, she was chilling earlier. But nah, I think Speak to Me is a song that I enjoyed, like that whole process in the studio there, because Troy Taylor and John T. Austin, they don't play no games in the booth. Okay, baby, these people are legends and they are perfectionists, which I love. I like the talent.
Again and again and again and again until it's right, because they see what the best of you looks like on the final product, not in the moment too.
Yeah, and some people are kind of just like allowing me to do what I want in the booth, you know, like we'll write it and they'll tell me I got a better one in me, but for the most part, it's like, make that your own, do whatever you want to do there. But these, they don't play, baby. They like, you sharp, you flat. And it was fun because I just was like, I'm not really used, you know, I consider myself to be a good singer. So, you know, I don't.
Phenomenal singer.
Thank you. I don't really get a lot of constructive criticism on my vocals a lot. So I just took it as a challenge to be able to, you know, get in that booth and like, just push myself beyond the limit. That's what I love. I love to grow and I love to be better. So that was the dope part about that session. So shout out to Troy for always pushing me to be my best. But other than that, it was easy money.
Yeah, shout outs to Troy, because he's definitely about, you know, seeing the artist see it through the best way. And I think most importantly, with this album is you're really surrounded with not only just your core team from the management to the label. I mean, the whole team is really for you, pushing you and really saying, hey, this is what we think. Okay, this is where you at with. Okay, cool. Let us add in to where we think is, where we can enhance this and make this such a bigger picture for you.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the team. RCA Inspiration is dope, and I'm just grateful to God to be a part of that. That's another part of his orchestration. Shout out to Ron Hill, who basically constructed this whole album. Okay, Ron Hill, you the GOAT.
He definitely is the GOAT. Have you been even recording more during these times like that, or have you just been focused on just gearing up? You said, you like, no. You like, I need people.
Not that person, to be honest with you. I'm probably not going to record again until it's time for the next album.
That makes sense.
I'm that person. Like, I know a lot of people are like, everybody different. Like, I wish that I could, like, y'all, come on. I feel like with this album, as much as, even though it was easy, like, I gave a lot of myself, like, into this album.
Really did.
And I mean, unless it's like for a single, or like a lot of times I'll do a lot of stuff for like movie soundtracks. In the past, I've done that for sure. I will 100% do that. But as far as me just going in and recording, like, like my process is when it's time for the album, we're going to get it. And
yeah,
I don't know. It works for me. If it stopped working for me, I'm going to let you know. But for now, I don't plan on recording until it's time to make more music.
Right. And people honestly have to sit and digest this album because this is really good. It's very inspiring. Yeah. Like this, I can't even hold you one bit. Like when I listened to it, I was like, oh my gosh, what I could listen to it by myself.
You feel full right now?
I feel full. I feel like it is anybody that has any bit of a missing piece of them, it covers that. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
It really does.
Why are you always trying to preach?
Girl, I don't know. That's my nature.
It's so pastoral. It covers them.
But you know the crazy thing is people be getting on me about my preaching this, but like when you love music, like real authentic music with a message behind it, you feel it more than anything.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I can say from the first project to this project. I feel it, and I was even following your journey for the last project, and just being able to see where you are now is so amazing. It really is. I can't wait for people to, be able to experience and hear this music out on tour. We can come out.
That's me. That is gonna be my favorite aspect, is performing these songs live. I don't even know if I'm ready for it.
Because you are a show. For the kids, for real.
Oh, we gonna get, especially after this Rona, y'all gonna get a show.
Let's talk about that tour preparation for you, because I know that it's definitely different from preparing for an album to a video shoot to any marketing and branding and stuff like that. But just being able to prep for a tour and stuff like that, what does that preparation look like for you? Like, is it a lot of time that goes into it, or do you kind of already pre-plan it before, it actually happens?
I mean, like, I've never been on my own personal tour before, so I don't know how that process is going to look for me, but I did go on tour with Chris.
And it's my name.
I'll
speak on it. You want to speak on it. 2021, 22, yes.
You know what? Let's do it. I'm down for it. But I did go on tour with Kirk last year, and my process was just definitely, I was like in the studio, like learning dances, like working on my vocals, like just kind of prepping, like in and out, like trying to figure out like what's the best songs to put on the set list and all of that. So, that process is a little bit, it takes heart and like patience, but honestly, you really learn throughout the tour too. It's like the first night, that stuff might not work and you might want to switch it up. So it's like as much prepping as you could do, you're really not gonna know until you hit the stage and you're like, I don't really like that. Let's switch that around.
Right. So no, I definitely agree with like the preparations like that, because anything can happen within that first night of a tour. I feel like as long as you prepare so like that, just a tiny bit, don't overdo it, because there are cases where people overdo preparation and you be like, wait a minute. Now, this was overdone a little bit too much. You didn't have to season it that much. It could have been just a little bland, seasoned light, a little salt. You know, being from the South in Louisiana, you know, it has to be spicy still. But listen, you got to do it just right. So I love the fact that you said, you know, just being able to make those changes. And what was it like even going on tour with Kirk? Because like, oh my, he's a legend.
Yeah, Kirk is definitely a legend, and I think that it was just a good learning experience for me to be able to see like what I would want my show to look like. And he was just so like open and just on some like, hey, what do you need? Do you have any questions? Like, let me know if you need something. Just he was available. So Kirk is definitely somebody that I respect on all levels, and he is hilarious. He's a funny man. Kirk funny. I don't know if y'all know that he's funny, but he is like.
Listen, I've seen videos of him. And I can tell he's funny.
He's hilarious. But it was an experience of a lifetime. So shout out to Kirk.
Yeah, shout outs to Kirk. I hope that people are ready for you to perform I Am once we can get outside, because listen, I'm looking forward to it. Cause like vocals.
Yes.
Whole entire album. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
So how many more videos do you think that you'll probably shoot to this project? Because as I was listening, you could do quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
I don't know. I think that's a conversation to be had with the team, but I don't know. This might be the visual album. You never know.
I think it is. I really think it is, because each record is single quality. It really is. It could even go to the regular radio format of, you know, your urban AC, your R&B and stuff like that, because it's not boxed in. And I love the fact that you were like, I'm not boxing myself in with this album. We're gonna do these sounds just like this. We're gonna write just like this, and I'm gonna give you all of me authentically.
Right. So I think that that's a blessing to even be able to do that, because a lot of people can't, to be honest with you. A lot of people are controlled, and you know, they don't be confident enough to speak up and say what they want. So I'm grateful to be able to be who I am and who God has called me to be, and hopefully that inspires other people to do the same. So yeah, I am. We'll get that out.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this interview, Koryn. I am so proud of you. Congratulations on sophomore project. Everybody stream, download I Am, because this is such an amazing project. And you are going to find at least a good 4 to 5 records that you...
At least 4.
No, they're going to listen. It's going to be 5 for sure, because if they got a good ear, they're going to love it.
You know that I love you so much. And I can't wait to meet you in the flesh.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you so much for listening to the virtual listening party, and just like your opinion, even though it might not seem like it don't mean a lot, it does. So thank you so much for just sharing your brain and your thoughts and your energy, and it's just encouraging. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Listen, I'm all about supporting great art, great people and stuff like that. So when I got the invite, and the team hit me up, I was like, oh, I will be there.
Yeah, you was like, there. Period.
Period. Because like I said, I have seen, like, literally before I even started like following you on socials like that, I had seen your name, like the label really promote and push you and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Because that's what I love to see. You know, just that continuation of activeness going on and stuff like that. And just the, you know, see that not even just the team, but seeing that the artist truly loves what they love to do. And that's something that you exude and exemplify. Speaking of exemplify, what would you say are like 2 to 4 things that like exemplify you as a woman and as an artist?
Dang, I don't know. What? Maybe it's the authenticity, like both ways, like the rawness as a woman and as an artist. I'm like, as you get what you see, as real as it gets, and like literally in my music and in my life. And I feel like personally that's why people G with me, and they because it's just like it's real. And a lot of people might try to be something that they're not. Like, I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I'm loyal. And I feel like even in the music, that's just, it's the truth. I'm loyal. I'm gonna give you the real. It's gonna be raw and authentic and relatable. And I think that if that's the question that you asked me, is that the question? Is that the right answer? Well, that's my answer.
Yeah, that's the answer. We good money on that. We are good money on that. So let all the people know, like, as far as social media is concerned, where they can follow you and, just continue to stay up to date with you.
Yeah, y'all can follow me on all my socials at Koryn Hawthorne. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All of your socials is Koryn Hawthorne. Y'all please go get the album I Am. Y'all hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, wherever to let me know what y'all favorite song is off of the album. And y'all share it with people. Share y'all favorite songs with people. Gift it to somebody. I love y'all so much. And I just pray that God keeps you encouraged and uplifted in this time. Y'all don't let that Rona beat y'all down, okay? It's almost over. I feel it in my gut. Okay.
All right, everybody. So that was our show for this evening. Shout out to Koryn Hawthorne, Final Draft, and June 3rd. Make sure that you guys check out our show every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Pacific Time. Listen, I told you I was going to be a dope-ass show. We got into Duane as well. We got into entertainment news. So if you guys are just tuning in, go back to the show. Start from the beginning. Or you guys can check out the individual clips that will be posted later on tomorrow and throughout the week. Yo, I want to shout out Koryn and Final Draft and June 3rd. Love speaking with them. Y'all are so freaking amazing. Good luck on everything. We'll be chatting soon with y'all. Yes. Yo, tomorrow, make sure you check out our IG Live with Leela James at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 Pacific Time, and then later in the evening, like I mentioned, we got a special IG Live. Just stay tuned. 11:30-ish, 12 o'clock, 12:30-ish Eastern Standard Time. For my West Coasters, like 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30. So make sure that you guys continue to follow us at David Duane on Instagram, at On Air with David on all platforms. You guys have a great week. Next week, we got Sainville and our boy, JT. Y'all know who JT is. You guys see him on Model with Fashion Nova all the time. And guess what? They'll be joined with us. He'll be joined with us, and Sainville will be joined with us. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right. Peace.